Okay, so this one is, I think it's 28.1 in that section. And we're going to do this. The top part, we're going to break this whole thing down. There's a top, a bottom, and then the division. So the top section we'll do by itself, then the bottom section we'll do by itself, and then this main fraction line means divide the top by the bottom. So we'll do that the third step. So if we just deal with the top for right now, we have 1 over A plus 1 over C. And the thing we have to keep in mind is, since it's addition, 1 over A plus 1 over C, we need the least common denominator. And for A and C, it's A times C is the least common denominator. So we need, sorry, my camera is all bouncy here. I don't have a desk. So we need to make them both say AC. So we're going to multiply this one times C on both levels. And this one needs an A, so we'll multiply by A on both levels. So what we end up with here is the bottom is that common denominator of AC. The top, we have a 1C plus a 1A. And so this is the answer to the top part. Then we go to the bottom part, which was 1 over A squared minus 1 over C squared. And we need the common denominator for that also, the least common denominator. Well, in this case, it's A squared times C squared. So the first one, we need to give it a C squared on both levels. And the second one, we need to give it an A squared on both levels. So we get, on the denominator, the A squared, C squared. But on the top, we get a 1C squared minus a 1A squared. So that's the answer for the bottom portion. Now we're going to take the top divided by the bottom. So the top answer was C plus A over AC divided by C squared minus A squared over A squared C squared. I'll be out in a minute. Okay, thank you, though. So now we can't do division of fractions. We have to turn it into multiplication and flip the second number. So this is going to have A squared C squared on top and C squared minus A squared on the bottom. The first one stays the same always. And so we want to be able to reduce this thing. And it's real easy to see, we can take an A out of both of these so that this is left with one A and this doesn't have any. And the same thing with the C's. We can take one C away from both of those. So that leaves one C up here. The other part, though, we need to factor it to see if there's anything in common. This one's not factorable, but this one is. Notice that both terms are squared. And they say minus. This is that sum and difference of squares. Like when we factored in earlier chapters, if we had like x squared minus 9, we knew that was going to be x plus 3, x minus 3, because you could find the square root of each of those. Well, the same thing's happening here. We can find the square root of these, and it says minus. So this is actually C plus A and C minus A, which gives us a chance to then cancel out C plus A on both levels. So now on top, all we have left is A times C, and on the bottom we have C minus A.